This tension is rising so thick we just might choke. But if we
Good evening, Goffstown, and welcome to the Grizzly Den, where the Lazy Grizzlies will be playing against Manchester Memorial tonight. We're looking forward to a good game, and this is Bob Bartolucci, and I'm here with Rob Foreman.
Hi, Bob. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I know. Happy New Year. Another year go flying by, and this should be an interesting game. But Rob, I know you were out at Winnacunnet, which was the girls' last game. So they played on Tuesday night, was it?
Correct. Tuesday night.
We squeaked out a win.
We did.
I guess we were lucky to win. So tell me a little bit about what happened out in Winnacunnet.
Yeah, so early on, I think we played our brand of basketball, which is that quick transition, tough defense, push the ball. We shot really well from deep, 7 3-pointers in the game. But they fought hard. It was low scoring. They wanted to control the tempo of the game in the second half. We really struggled. We were down late. Winterburn hits 2 free throws with 4 seconds left. Put us up by 1, and we finished it out. But it was a tight game, 39-38. I think we would rather be in the 60s opposed to the 39s.
Right.
So this team wants to get out and run and score.
Right. Well, talking to the girls, they were kind of disappointed. They felt that the effort wasn't there. And to a man, so to speak, they all admitted that it wasn't their most shining moment. Coach Largy was not thrilled with the performance either, and made them well aware of it at the following practice. But he said that sometimes, coming off the break, they did have a little tournament there during the break where they played very well, right?
They did, yeah. They played 3 games down at Salem High School. Each of the games by winning by more than 20 points. At times up 50 points against some opponents. Lots of players got playing time. The scoring was balanced. Everybody got some action. But like you said, you play some opponents a little lesser level. You head to that first Winnacunnet game on the road, an hour away. They leave school at 1:30 for a 6:30 game. There's a lot going on. So,
right.
I mentioned to you before the game, I think good teams find ways to win.
Right.
They found a way to squeak out a 1-point win at Winnacunnet. This is going to be a tough opponent tonight. They're going to pack in a zone, and they're going to want to slow it down. So we'll see. How do we respond to that?
Right. And, I think what Goffstown has to do is stick with what they do strong. And we have to start driving to the basket. We were talking a little bit earlier, too. Obviously, Ava Winterburn is the driving force behind the offense of this team. But we're going to need to get throughout the season and even in this game, some more balanced scoring.
I agree. The balance is it. I think, Ava Ruggiero and Maggie Sasso drive into the basket. We have size. When Penny's in there and Ava Winterburn, we have two bigs down low. We have Ava Vaughn. In the tournament, Caroline hit 2 or 3 3-pointers one game. So we can hit the outside shot, and we can balance that scoring. I think we're really strong.
Right, but they can't depend on that
No.
outside shot all the
No.
time. So they have to be able to work, especially against the zone, and be able to go to the basket and be able to get some baskets that way. We're going to do the starting lineup. So obviously you'll probably hear Al in the background announcing that. But for Manchester Memorial, we got it's going to be Emma Rossi. It's a guard. She's a senior guard. You got Kaylee Burnett coming in. She's also a senior guard. You'll have Tori Adamani.
Yes.
You're going to have, I don't even want to, Asia
Nyjah
McCalvary.
McKelvey, yes.
So she is a sophomore forward, and she's 6'1", so that'll balance out against Ava Winterburn.
Yep.
And then we got Madison Peppermomoni.
Pepperomani. Yes.
We're going to have a good time with these names. That's great.
Yeah,
And then-
and I'll tell you, she's a player 2 years ago. She suffered a knee injury last year and didn't play. 2 years ago, she lit it up from downtown. She pulled up deep. 3-4 feet behind the three-point line. She's a shooter.
Yep. And she's got some size too,
Yeah.
5'6". So it should be an interesting matchup for the girls. So we're going to have to see how that goes. And like you said, I think they're going to have to play, cautious defense, and offensively they're going to have to be able to break down the zone, which I expect to see. And I'm sure they have an answer for Winterburn. I mean, any team that's preparing for Goffstown is going to have to shut down Ava Winterburn to win, and that's why we need some of the other girls to step up and really start
Well,
scoring.
you're at the point now where you're four games into the regular season, plus these Christmas tournament, 7 games. There's video footage out there. People are scouting.
Right.
They know what we're running. We know what they're running. So like you said, how are they going to respond? When they pack in a zone and we want to feed it inside, are they going to collapse and double team Ava Winterburn? Are they going to leave somebody else open? So how do we exploit what they give us and really take advantage?
Right, and that's going to be what it's about. So the starters for Goffstown is going to be Ava Winterburn, of course, then her sister Meredith Winterburn. You're going to also have Ava Vaughn. You're going to have Ava Ruggiero, and then, of course, Maggie Sasso. So,
And we didn't mention, but we could call the Winnicunnet game the Tooth Fairy game, because Meredith knocked out Ava's tooth in the second half of the Winnicunnet game. So I understand she's had some dental work and ready to go tonight.
that's right, yeah. Miss Winterburn is ready to go. And talked to the girls earlier, and I was explaining to them that they have to put some teeth into their offense tonight. And that's literal for Winterburn. And it was made all the better by her sister, was the one that kind of hit her. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. And good evening, Goffstown. We're back here live from the Grizzly Den in Goffstown on a Friday night, which can't be better than a Friday night basketball.
A little snow outside.
A little
It feels
snow
like
outside.
basketball.
It's winter. It's basketball season. I just had the national anthem, and Memorial serenaded us by singing the national anthem. I thought it was wonderful. You're going to have Ava Winterburn taking the tip-off tonight to start things off for Goffstown, and we're going to be looking for, Goffstown to establish some dominance early, hopefully. Let's see how this goes. And the tip. All right. So you got Emma Rossi with the ball. Over to Burnett, and then back.
Crusaders really looking to move the ball around the perimeter.
Yep. And they're doing a good job passing. They're passing so fast I can't even keep up with who's got the ball. I look down at the score sheet that somebody else has it already. So, that's a nice pull-up jumper.
Yep. Sasso with the rebound.
Well, but Maggie tried to lead Ava Ruggiero, but it kind of went off her hands.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like, I think the Crusaders know we're going to push the ball. They kind of stepped in that passing lane and caused Meredith to pick up a quick foul.
Well, and this is the way they really need to play. They need to have a controlled game on offense and get working underneath to their bigs like they just did.
Kelvey with the first basket of the game.
Yep. So I think the key for Goffstown is, Ruggiero tries to hit a three from outside, but Winterburn's right there to get the rebound in and out of the hoop. McKelvey got that rebound. Now they're working it down again. And Pepper Omani, and she actually...
There was some contact there.
I'll tell you what, she looks good.
Yeah.
She's pretty fast.
Yeah, she's quick, got a good shot.
Yep. So they're going to have to keep their heads up because those two of the offense, and McKelvey just hit another one. So it puts them up 4-0. Sasso's working it down the court. Just kind of scopes it out. Over to Ava Vaughn. Back out to Meredith Winterburn. Over to Vaughn. Thought about it. Winterburn's taking a long three off the rim. Really want to see Goffstown slow it down and work it underneath if they can. They can't keep taking these long threes. And as you can see,
and
Memorial's worked it in again.
They have. Yeah, they worked it in, the big post player, McKelvey's got 3 shots in there. 2 of them have gone in. So, like you said, I'd like to see him work it down into Winterburn, draw fouls, and let her get strong underneath.
Right. Just slow the pace down on offense and control the game is really the key for them. Sasso's trying to shoot a 3. Winterburn's right there for the rebound. Out to Sasso. This is good. She drove in.
Kick it out. Ball movement.
To Vaughn. Here we go.
Good take.
And Vaughn works her way in. So that's what we were just talking about.
I'm sure they heard us.
Yeah. Well, they should have. Yes. So Vaughn worked it in under the basket, did a layup, and actually drew a foul. So there's a chance to make this a 3-point play.
Absolutely.
It's going to bring us within 1 right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that ball movement around the perimeter, if they can make 4 or 5 good passes, somebody on the backside is going to be open. Ava saw it, drove to the basket.
Vaughn misses the extra point. So Pepper Romani works it back down over to Rossi.
Ruggiero, quick tip.
Almost broken up by Ruggiero. It's hit out of bounds. So Emma Rossi's going to inbound this for Memorial. She's going to go to Pepper Romani, it looks like. Oh, nope. Cross court. Over to Burnett. Back to Rossi. Rossi's looking to go outside to the wing to Omani. Omani works it into McKelvey.
Hey, go to the basket, Naija. You gotta go to it. Naija, that's gonna be a layup.
So we got a foul underneath.
Yeah. Meredith went in for that rebound, and some contact was made. So Goffstown's going to get this ball.
Yeah, foul was on Brunette for Memorial.
So Ava Ruggiero's going to inbound this to Maggie Sasso. Maggie's working it down. again, same thing, just working underneath. Ruggiero sends it out to Meredith, who takes a 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think each of the possessions we've shot a 3-pointer to start off. That's the first shot.
Right.
And
Ooh.
on the opposite end, they're driving and feeding the big girl down low.
Right. Meredith's going to drive now, and there you go.
Take it.
That's what we needed. We'll take that. So Meredith hits a layup. So Peppermani's working it down. Ruggiero's on her.
Ruggiero
Broken up
front.
again. Ruggiero, good hustle inside. Calvi's got the ball. That was a drive by Ottomani. Sinks the layup from Memorial. Sasso now has got the ball again, works it in for Goffstown to Winterburn on the point. Ava's trying to go in.
Good shot.
With a step back jumper, and
Yeah.
she hit it.
That 8 to 10 footer is really a sweet shot for her.
Set it.
So again, Memorial's coming down with Peppermani.
Good pass.
There you go. You got Ruggiero right in the middle of it, of course. Why wouldn't she be?
Yeah, exactly. Called a jump ball down there. Goffstown will retain possession.
Ruggiero's going to inbound this to Sasso.
Yeah, and we talked about them going to a zone early on Memorial. They're in man-to-man, and this is where I'd really like to see some screen and rolls and feeding Ava down low.
Ruggiero works it underneath to Sasso. Sasso tries a kind of a back hook.
Yeah.
Almost went in. So you got Peppermani working it down.
Oh, Ruggiero.
Broken up by Ruggiero. And
How is-
Rossi
how
gets
is that
right in
not a
front
foul?
of it. It's a good question, but Ruggiero sunk the basket anyway. Nice layup. 8 to 6, Goffstown. Peppermani's working it back down to number 3, Brene. We're just starting to learn their names, and here we got
They're gonna get
4 other
substitute.
girls coming
Yeah.
in. We got Ava Vaughn working it down. She sees Ruggiero down deep. Ruggiero gets it underneath. Out to Meredith on the point. Meredith hits a 3. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's good. 11-6 Goffstown. Burnett works it back in. Over to McKelvey. Tries to go underneath. Ava Winterburn. Well, the rest are letting her play.
Yeah.
Memorial coach isn't happy with
That
that.
was a good take. Maggie drove to the
Meredith
basket.
Winterburn
Kicked it to
hits a
Meredith.
layup under the basket.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Memorial coach isn't too happy. He
No.
felt it, but he seems to be letting it go for both sides. Because
Yeah.
we thought there might have been a foul on Ava Ruggiero earlier with Rossi.
Yeah, I would agree. Here's their replay on that last play. Kicked it right in. Good look to Meredith down low.
And Meredith took her time,
Yeah.
set up the shot.
Yeah, and again, no surprise. We like to run. We like to transition. We like to play quick. I just would love to see us not settle for that first 3-pointer down the floor. That's going to be there. Work the ball around. And the times we've worked the ball around the perimeter and drove or attacked, we've gotten some great looks.
Oh, yeah, and you got to take those 3-pointers when you have the time to do it.
Yes,
you
yes.
can't take it, right away. And, Memorial's doing a good job. Like you said, instead of playing – they're playing more man-to-man than zone.
Correct.
So they were really right up on in the grill. So it makes it hard to make the 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So you got Caroline Foreman and Morgan Dodge work their way back into the game now.
And when I look out
taking
there
out
now, Bob,
Ruggiero and Meredith?
no, Sasso.
Sasso.
When you look out now, we definitely have some height advantage out there. Good take.
Yeah, Peppermani went in and got a layup. And she drew a foul, too. So the foul is going to be on Ava Vaughn. So it's 13-8, and Peppermani's going to the line for Memorial.
Yeah, like I said earlier, she's deadly. She can shoot deep. She can drive to the basket. She made some great passes early on to the post inside.
Well, you could just see by looking at her and watching her play, she's a very confident basketball player.
And
Very good.
extremely athletic.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that's the truth. Meredith is working it down to Vaughn on the wing. Out to Ava Winterburn. Wintern's tried to go in and, Ava Vaughn came flying in.
Yeah.
Rossi comes out from Memorial. Over to Osway, right?
Yes.
Miss Mathematics.
Osman.
Looks like Penny Annis is going to work her way back into the game. Again, that's going to give Goffstown a lot more size.
Yep. Last foul was on Ava Winterburn. Her first.
Maggie Sasso's coming back in. So Ava Vaughn and Meredith Winterburn are stepping out. Peppermonte's going to inbound this for Memorial.
Oh, good look on the out-of-bounds play. And off and running we go.
Yep. Ava tried to lead Maggie Sasso a little too far in front of her.
Yep.
That went off Penny Annis out of bounds.
Refs are going to talk about it. I really thought Memorial tipped it from behind. Yep.
Yep, but
Yeah, he
Memorial's still
overturned.
gonna
No, he
inbound.
overturned it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw at first look. I really thought it was double tipped.
So Goffstown's possession. They're going to get it. Caroline Foreman's going to inbound this.
The Memorial coach is getting a warning. He's been pretty vocal here in
Right.
the first quarter.
You put a warning in the books for the coach here?
So Caroline's going to inbound this. It probably looks like it's going to go over to Ava.
Yeah.
Either Ava Winterburn or Maggie Sasso.
You got your church voice going.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, I don't know why.
It got really quiet in here
Over
when
to
the warning
Maggie's-
went in the book.
Over to Maggie.
Sasso,
Maggie.
drive.
Oh, she's still underneath. Beautiful pass back to Winterburn, and Winterburn just hits that. Like you said, an 8-footers. That's
Yeah,
her sweet
It
spot.
is a sweet spot.
Papamonte's got the ball now for Memorial. Worked it in over the zone, over to Rossi. Rossi's looking to get in, but she can't pick up by Penny Annis. And looks like there was
Travel.
travel
It was
here.
good help defense. Morgan Dodge stepped over in the lane, so that was a good help defense from the weak side.
Fatima Fata there was the one who did the travel. So Morgan Dodge inbounds it to Sasso. Sasso's working it down to Winterburn, right back to Sasso. Sasso comes underneath the basket and drives.
Charge.
Yeah, she's going to charge on that.
Now that's one, Maggie drove. I don't know if we're going to get a replay, but Maggie drove. They collapsed on her. If she would have kicked it out to the wing, there were two shooters in place to shoot. So, I'm hard on them, like, don't shoot the three, don't shoot the three. But there's a time and a place, and that was the time. Kick it out and hit the three.
On the other hand, I like to see Maggie going to the
I know you
basket and
do.
taking the shot.
I know you do, but there was 2 or 3 defenders in there.
Maggie, I'd still recommend take the shot. I'm all right with Maggie doing it. So Memorial's working this here around the perimeter. Peppermonte's works it into, I believe that's Fatima. Back out to Peppermonte.
We're under a minute here in the first.
Over to Burnett. Back out to Schmidt. Schmidt's got the ball. She's trying to drive in on Foreman. Foreman's keeping her to the outside.
Good rebound by Maggie.
Yep, long shot by Burnett. It was missed, and Ava Winterburn over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero underneath the basket. Ooh, tried to do a layup, but Winterburn's right there for the
That's a foul,
rebound.
yeah.
Winterburn puts it up.
Yeah, there's definitely a height advantage with Penny, Ava, and Caroline in there. There's a big height advantage. We should be hitting those offensive rebounds like that.
Yep, and that's good that they're nice and aggressive under the basket. We're down to 16 seconds left in the first quarter. 17-9 Grizzlies. Fatima's working it in
Good
and
steal by
intercepted
Ava.
by Ruggiero. Ruggiero's taking her time, working down. Tries to do a layup. That was blocked.
We're at 4 seconds.
So Ruggiero's going to inbound this now. 4 seconds left. Of course, the Winterburn, where else would it go? Again, that 8-footer. She hasn't missed one yet from there.
No. You know what? She got that separation. I watched the out-of-bounds play. She took 2 steps back, a little lob, and a great shot. That's a sweet, sweet shot from there.
Yeah, and the way the quarter started, you wouldn't think we'd end the quarter up by 10.
No,
It
here's
looks
the
like
replay. The little lob, and she, from 10 feet. Such a great rotation on the ball. Really
it was a
nice.
smooth shot.
It was very
Nothing
smooth.
but net.
Very smooth.
Winterburn, nothing but net.
Yeah.
So that was good. Yeah, so again, the dominance took over towards the end.
Yeah.
But, you know, this game still feels a lot closer than 10 points,
really
doesn't
does.
it?
Yeah, when I really feel like Memorial's got a chance to go on a spurt or on a run and really tighten this thing up. The Winterburn sisters combined 13 of the first 19. So Meredith and Ava really chipping in here.
Right. Well, and I think the key is, and the only reason why I think we're ahead right now, or the main reason why we're ahead right now, is I think the rebounding.
Yeah.
That's where we've really been dominant. As far as controlling the ball, Memorial, when they have it, they haven't really been turning it over. There hasn't been a lot of mistakes, although there was a couple where Ruggiero kind of intercepted some passes in there. But they've been playing pretty clean as far as that goes. But Goffstown has been dominant under the basket on both sides.
Yep.
So we're going to have Burnett inbound this over to Rossi. And, of course, Ruggiero's all over her like paint. And so Memorial back on the inside. Atamani over to Schmidt. Out to Rossi. Back to Burnett.
Downhill, Soleil, downhill.
Burnett to Toro. And did that go off? Oh,
Yeah,
went
went
off
off,
Memorial.
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So Maggie Sasso's going to inbound this to Ruggiero.
Memorial still staying in man, so we'll see if we can run some plays through Winterburn here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, there
So
was
we-
a high screen and roll, and no one picked up Ruggiero. She just went right to the basket.
Right, which is exactly what you should have did.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Like you said in the beginning, she would have stopped at the line and tried to shoot the three.
That's right.
So this is what we need them to do. They're driving in. And Vaughn looks like she's checking back in.
Burnett picks up the foul, her second.
Ruggiero goes to the line, and nice high arc on the first one. Sinks it. Vaughn's going back in for Caroline Foreman. And Ruggiero's taking her second shot. 20-9 Goffstown, and nice
21.
high arcing shot
Yeah.
again, 21. Rossi's going to inbound this to Peppermani. Peppermani's working it down. Ooh, drove to the basket, but I think she got
Foul.
travel there, right?
No,
Nope.
foul on the outside.
Foul on Ava.
Maggie.
Oh, it's on May. I thought it was Ava Winterburn was on her.
Number one, yeah, and that's her second.
Okay. Meredith Winterburn's coming back in for Maggie. So Peppermani's going to inbound this. Most likely she's going to look to feed McKelvey.
Yeah.
Nope, but over to Schmidt. Now underneath to McKelvey. And she drew a foul.
That one's not going to be on Penny.
That's going to be Penny Ennis. That's her first.
Correct. Sends McKelvey to the line for two.
McKelvey's a sophomore. She's obviously
Yeah, nice
got the height,
size, too,
6'1".
yeah.
Yep, it's
And
good size, and she's also very athletic. So she's quick under the basket. I noticed now this is, and that free throw has been one of the things that's been kind of killing her in this game because she's taken a few shots that went in and out.
Yeah.
Here she goes with her second, and just off the back rim. Ava Winterburn got the rebound over to her sister. Ruggiero's working it around the perimeter. Tried to drive in, was backed off by Rossi. Vaughn has it over to Meredith Winterburn. Ava is taking a long three off the rim and out. Ava went chasing her own rebound. She ended up picking it up and sinking one right under the basket. Memorial doesn't seem to have an answer for Ava Winterburn. It's
No,
that
and
simple
you
right
know
now.
what's impressive about her? As good as she is offensively, she knows she's going to miss the shot. She goes after the loose ball. She doesn't give up.
Right.
It's second chance points. It's get a tip. It's get an offensive rebound. Really impressive.
And a lot of her points have come that way.
They have.
Getting her own
They
rebound,
have.
sometimes 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
So here we got Penny Ennis underneath to Meredith, outside to Ava Winterburn, over to Ava Vaughn. Vaughn's kind of trapped under 3 people, tried to pass it into Ennis.
Travel.
So In for Goffstown is number 5. That's Shannon O'Brien. And that took out Penny Annis. Ruggiero's going to inbound this out to Winterburn. Ava Vaughn now. Over to Ava Ruggiero.
Ava.
Ava to Ava
good
to Ava.
take by
Ruggiero
Ruggiero.
goes right in, right underneath everybody.
Yeah. I think she was surprised at how open she was.
Well, you know what it is? It looks like they're peeling off Ruggiero, so
Yeah.
they double team Winterburn.
Yep.
Papamani's underneath. To Automani. Again, Winterburn's right underneath to get the rebound. The sisters combine. Ava Vaughn over to Ruggiero, who was breaking down the wing. Over to Vaughn from the outside, just missed on the 3. Rossi has the ball. Over to
And that was good.
Pepperoni. Over to Pepperoni.
Friday night pizza night.
Yeah. It's been a long week. We already talked about that, Rob. Shannon O'Brien aggressive on the rebound. Over to Rossi to Schmidt. Schmidt's trying to work it in underneath. Kicks it out to Rossi. He takes a long 3. It was actually closer than it looked, but Shannon O'Brien got it.
Yeah, the defense is picked up for Goffstown, and I noticed Memorial looks frustrated. They're not getting the easy shots they got early on. They've been forced to throw some long shots.
Yeah, Levi shots, yep.
Looks like I've got a foul coming up here.
Yep, so Winterburn went inside to Ruggiero. Ruggiero tried to put it right up, and she was fouled.
Emma Rossi picks up that foul, her first.
So Ruggiero go to the line, and Ruggiero's hitting 100% from the line, isn't she?
Yeah, and we're not.
They're not.
Claim
No,
she
so
wasn't
it's not a shooting foul.
Yeah.
All right, so Ruggiero keep her 100% shooting foul thing intact right now.
And that was a really good out-of-bounds play. Winterburn started up high, went to the low post, and sealed off that defender. Ruggiero just a quick bounce pass and easy shot. She gets fouled.
So Winterburn's going to take her first shot and just off the rim for Memorial. Fatan works her way back in. And she took out Automani. Ava's now taking her second shot. Sinks that one, so it's 24-10 Goffstown. Pepper Armani's working it back down the court over to Schmidt. Schmidt to McKelvey. McKelvey's driving in and just missed the basket there. Ava Winterburn throws it down to Ruggiero. Ruggiero underneath, but she stepped out of bounds.
I almost said to you, I don't know how she stayed in bounds there.
She didn't.
Yeah, she was kind of skating along the baseline.
So Rossi inbounded to Paparmani, who's working it underneath to McKelvey. Over to Fatan. Fatan tries to put it up, went off the rim, and Meredith Winterburn's fighting for it underneath. Ava Vaughn comes up with the rebound. Over to Ava Winterburn. Winterburn's going to drive it down. Over to Shannon O'Brien, who hits a 3 from the outside. Good for her. So there we go. We're spreading the scoring out a little bit now.
Ava was able to see the open shooter, and that's what she needs to do. If she can find her teammates, she's going to get her 20-plus, right?
Right.
Find your open teammates, and they're going to hit those shots.
Right, and get the assist on that, so that's good. Memorial is now calling it.
Here's that last play here. Ava out to Shannon, pulls up, nails the 3.
Well, she took her time, took a good shot.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Yeah, but she was alone. Again, like you said, there's a time and a place for those threes, and it's sort of when they're looking and when they're alone.
Yep.
But I think part of the reason why that's happening, and this is why, like you said, it's important for Winterburn to look up and find those open teammates, is because she is such a scoring threat.
Yeah.
The teams that they're playing against have to react to her.
They do.
And if they're responding to her and they're double teaming her, then she has to find that open player, and that's what she did.
Great point. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, I make those quite a bit.
Every
it's
once
about
in a
time
while.
you're starting to notice that more often.
Even a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while.
Yes,
right?
I'm living proof of that. That's sort of my motto. Saying that for years.
Yes. So I don't know. We're going to come back in here. I don't know how much time. We have about halfway through the quarter, but Memorial hasn't scored yet, and they look out of sync on offense.
Well, they look frustrated.
Yeah,
yep.
It's 4:23 here, but early on they were able to drive. They could feed the post. They had some open jump shots. They just look real frustrated right now.
Right, 27-9 Goffstown, and Rossi's going to inbound this over to Pepper Armani. Armani with the ball. She's working it around the perimeter. Over to McKelvey. Out to Schmidt. Schmidt into Rossi. Rossi's trying to work it down underneath, but there's 3 Grizzlies there. Ava Vaughn comes up with the rebound. Good hustle for Ava Vaughn. Over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero scoping it out. Over to Meredith Winterburn. Over to Shannon O'Brien. To Ava is going for a 3 and just off the rim. Underneath, picked up by McKelvey. Peppermonti's coming in and driving on Winterburn, but Winterburn keeps her to the outside and forces her to shoot a little earlier. Winterburn's now driving. Just missed, but again, got her own rebound.
And the defender was out and didn't establish. There was a lot of contact under. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of contact. I'm surprised we're not getting that.
You know
foul.
what? I'm okay with it if they're consistent. And so far, I think they've been fairly consistent.
They have been
with
consistent.
It. So.
The issue is when the game gets like this and it's, a 20-point difference, if I know I can get away, good feed to Shannon.
Well, yeah.
If I know I can get away with a push or a shove, how much can I get away with?
Right. And you don't want to see anybody get hurt.
That's exactly right.
So Schmidt out to Rossi. Caroline Foreman's going to work her way back in the game for the Grizzlies, and it looks like Maggie Sasso's coming back. Peppermonti takes a long 3 off the rim. Grizzlies are doing a good job of keeping them to the outside and not letting them penetrate down low.
Yeah, and giving them one shot and one shot only.
Again, that's the rebounds.
Yeah.
So we have a wholesale change here for the Grizzlies. You got Maggie Sasso, Caroline Foreman, Penny Annis. Looks like
Abigail Stano.
Abigail Stano has worked her way into this game. And Ruggiero's the only consistent. So Maggie Sasso's up top looking. To Stano, to Ruggiero. Ruggiero's going to try to cut in on the 2 Giants and just missed.
That was
Penny
a
Annis.
good dish by Ruggiero.
Yep, and Annis went in to try to take the shot, but she was stopped by McKelvey. Over to Amani. Amani drives in, but they're going to call Penny Annis for that.
That's her second.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought she looked set.
Yeah.
Peppermonti's going to the line. What's she shooting on the line?
Just 1 for 1. So she only got 3 points on the day. Just 1 field goal, 1 free throw. So that's her second free throw. First point for them this quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 19-9 after the end of the first quarter.
It feels like she's got a lot of points,
Yeah.
but she does not.
Well, she had those 3 or 4 early assists to the post player to McKelvey.
Hey, blue!
Ruggiero's got the ball, inbounds it to Maggie Sasso. Looks like they're trying to push up a little bit. Still man-to-man, though.
I don't know if that was a shot or an alley-oop pass, but she got pushed out front.
So for Memorial, Schmidt's going to work her way back in the game. Ruggiero's going to inbound this. So Schmidt's coming in for Ottomani. Memorial coach still isn't very happy right
No,
now.
he's not happy with anything, I don't think.
He seemed like a nice guy earlier.
Yeah.
I think he is. He probably is. He's just upset.
We'll get him for a halftime interview
Yeah, there
and
you
see
go.
what we can do.
Maggie Sasso with the ball on the outside. Timeout.
Yeah,
Coach
Goffstown looked
Largy.
a little out of sync there, so Largy will settle down.
No rush on this, so we're playing nice, clean so far,
Yep.
and looking good. And I think it's because, as a result of the Grizzlies' play, it's frustrating Memorial because it's getting them off their game plan.
Yeah, exactly. The things that they got early on, they're not getting now. They're throwing up some shots that are, a little questionable. And we're sticking to the game plan. Let's run when we can. Let's feed Ava. Let's run off of Winterburn. Let's get her an 8-foot shot. Let's dish the ball. And, if you stick to the game plan, I think they're successful.
Yeah, well, and some of the shots Memorial is getting, they're just not they're not going in.
That's true, too.
They're
There's a
they're
few
having a
that
little
kind of
bad
rolled
luck.
around the rim. And, yeah.
Yep, and they were decent shots, but they just weren't sinking them.
Yeah.
So coming out for the Grizzlies, they'll have the ball. You have Astano going to inbound this. You got Ava Ruggiero, Maggie Sasso, Caroline Foreman, and Penny Annis. So Ruggiero's got the ball over to Sasso. And they're sort of playing more of a zone now, Memorial. Sasso tries to step up, take a shot just off the rim. That went out of bounds.
Yeah, Memorial definitely changed up their defensive strategy there.
Well, the thing is the Grizzlies were killing him and getting that penetration underneath. I mean, even the smaller players like Ruggiero and stuff was coming
And when
in
Ava
underneath.
Winter burns out, it changes things. You can do a little more.
Exactly. McKelvey takes another shot off the back rim. And again, she's got some bad luck around the basket. She's getting some opportunities.
She's had some really good looks.
So Sasso to Ruggiero, back to Sasso, underneath the Caroline Foreman, but they're calling her for a travel.
Yeah.
And Ava Winterburn's coming back in. So she'll take out Estano. Rossi's going to inbound this to Amani. Amani's got the ball, working it down past midcourt over to McKelvey. McKelvey's dancing around and going to go underneath. Kicks it out to Schmidt into Rossi. Now to Osway. Schmidt got the ball just off Winterburn's fingertips over to Rossi. Rossi looks like she's trying to drive in over to Osway. Back out to Schmidt. Schmidt's trying to drive in. Maggie Sasso's all over her.
Oh,
Taking an ill-advised shot. Yep, that ball went off Maggie and Caroline. Yep, and went out of bounds. But again, the Grizzlies are doing a good job of tying it up under the basket and not allowing any penetration from Memorial. Rossi's going to inbound this. Over to McKelvey, out to Schmidt, back to Rossi. Rossi over to Osway, takes a long three. That was not the best shot for her.
Oh, there's a foul.
Yeah, but she draws a foul underneath. I think that's going to be an Ava.
I think that might be Foreman.
Marlena, Emma, Maddie, here. Marlena,
Yeah.
Emma, Maddie, here.
11? Oh, that is Caroline. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you should know. I should give you credit for that.
I saw that.
Yes, okay.
She was out of position.
We'll see. She gets that goonishness from you.
No, I
She's
was
such a nice girl, too.
I know.
Osway sinks her first one. So 27-12. Ava Vaughn works her way back in for Penny Annis. So. So Jocelyn takes her second shot, again off the rim. McKelvey gets the rebound this time. Winterburn gets it now. Out to Maggie Sasso. Sasso with the ball over to Ava Winterburn into Caroline Foreman. Dishes off to Ava Vaughn. Vaughn tries to drive in on two players. No shot, a travel.
Out of control. She
Yep,
did a good job driving to the basket and then just kind of got stuck.
right. So again, Memorial did a good job trying to clog up underneath, and that's what they have to do.
We're under a minute here.
Yep. Amani drives it in over on Ruggiero and kind of gives an alley-oop little skyhook.
Yes.
Sasso's got the ball. I'd like to see Goffstown slow it down offensively a little bit. Winterburn's taking a three from the point off the back of the rim. I'm surprised actually there's no whistle on it.
And then she got frustrated on that second shot, kind of forced it.
Yep. Amani's driving back down the court for Memorial in the final 18 seconds. And
Uh-oh.
Ruggiero take a long
touchdown.
How did Winterburn keep that in? Osway over to Amani. Amani's taking a three-point shot just off the rim. Winterburn's underneath the basket, drives it back, but it went into Rossi. Rossi sinks a two. So they get the final shot at the buzzer. 27-16. What happened? Did they call a foul?
It's calling a 2 or a 3 here. Yeah.
That's a two.
Yeah.
They're calling it a 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. I see the replay on that. She was not on the outside.
Yeah, it was close.
I don't think it was close. Let's see.
She's inside.
Now
the
she's
line.
well inside.
Yeah. No replay here, but she was definitely inside the line on that. That's a two-pointer every day.
But needless to say, so that'll make it 27-17. So 10-point lead for Goffstown Grizzlies, basically where we ended the first quarter. I still think there's more to like than dislike about this game. We got Memorial, I think, a little bit off kilter offensively, although they started pouring it on here towards the end. Like you said, beginning of the second quarter, we were halfway through it, and they had no points.
Yeah. First basket for them. Now, they hit 3 free throws, but the first basket was with under a minute in the quarter.
Right.
So, then they get the three-pointers. So 2 baskets under a minute. But, yeah, there was some good defensive, some balls that bounced in and out. But I thought the defense was tough.
Yeah, on the whole, Grizzlies are clogging up underneath the basket. And again, they're doing a very good job, as opposed to earlier in the season where I think it was a disadvantage for them.
Yeah.
They're doing a real good job on rebounds on both sides of the court.
I agree.
So that's really good.
Yep.
We're going to take a few minutes here because it is halftime here at the Grizzly Den. Right now, the Goffstown girls, the Lady Grizzlies, are up by 10, 27-17 on Memorial. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
You're watching Grizzly Basketball.
This moment feels so cutthroat. So cutthroat.
Good evening, Goffstown. We're back here at the Grizzly Den for the Dun. That too.
Yeah.
We're here for the second half of the Goffstown Lady Grizzlies game. 27-17 Grizzlies. And what did you see in the first half, Rob, that you liked?
Well, I thought the first quarter the Grizzlies controlled a 19-9 lead, and then the second half, both teams looked a little out of sync. 8-8 was the score in the second quarter. So I think both teams got to figure out right now, make those adjustments, what works, and let's just go after it.
Right. So Ruggiero here, inbounded to Sasso. Sasso over to Meredith Winterburn, but intercepted by Rossi on a good play. Steps in front of Ava Winterburn. Out to Almani. Almani's trying to work it in underneath, but Ruggiero's all over her. Automani's trying to work it underneath. Tried to go into McKelvey, but the ball was kicked. I think it was by Meredith, right?
Yes.
So Rossi's going to inbound this for Memorial. And now McKelvey's got the ball over to Almani. Almani's working around the point over to Rossi. Rossi tries to step it in. Nice pass
Good
for
block,
McKelvey.
yeah. Good block by Ava Winterburn. Meredith just couldn't save the block shot, but
Going
good
out of
defense.
bounds. Yep. So Rossi's going to inbound this again for Memorial. And she goes out to McKelvey. And she's trying to get around Ava Winterburn. Oh, it went off Ruggiero's head.
It's
So
an extra
Goffstown
step
will get
there.
the ball. So Ava Ruggiero's going to inbound this to Maggie Sasso. And it looks like,
Memorial's going to go to, looks like a trap, a 1-2-2 trap here.
yep, and they're certainly going to be a little more aggressive here on the ball. They can't allow Goffstown to really work it in underneath because that's where they were getting killed. And they seem to be drawing two people to the ball. So Sasso here's got the ball. She tries to get in, no go. Ava Vaughn over to Winterburn, drives it inside to Ruggiero. Ruggiero takes a long, deep two, but she hit it.
Yeah, that was a nice baseline jumper by Ava. Pepper Omani's got it, swinging it, and Rossi cutting through the lane. McKelvey with the ball up top, looking to pass it inside. Burnett with the ball, back to Rossi. Rossi drives, kicking it out to Pepper Omani. A good shot there by Adamani. A good ball movement by Memorial there.
Ruggiero's got the ball over mid-court to Winterburn inside, out to her sister Meredith, back to Ruggiero. Ruggiero's trying to drive it in, draws two defenders. Vaughn takes a long three, just off the rim. Winterburn's right there for the rebound. Again, another 10-footer.
Yeah, I could put painted lines on the floor and tell you she's money from this shot. She's
Right.
not going to miss from this spot.
Omani's got the ball, trying to work it in. Vaughn's all over her, but falls. Omani takes a long three. She should have drove on Vaughn.
Yeah, once she got her to the floor like that.
Yep. She would have had an easy two.
Good take by Maggie. That's what I want to see Maggie do. See,
I love when Maggie
I
does
know.
that.
She's got such a quick first move. I mean, here it is again. The ball comes up the floor. Maggie sees it. Look how quick she gets to the basket. You can't stop that.
Right. So now she'll go to the line. She's been doing a lot better on the line.
Yes.
And she sunk the first one, 32-19 Grizzlies. Maggie will take her second shot.
I'll be honest. I've seen all the games so far, and Ava Winterburn gets hers. Ava Ruggiero gets her points. Maggie's the key to this team moving forward and in the postseason.
And against the tougher team. Yep.
Exactly. That triple threat of those three, they're tough to stop.
Well, I think at that point you almost can't stop them if
I-
all three are clicking.
Yep.
So McKelvey out to Automani. Automani tries to drive in on three Grizzlies, and she actually took a good shot.
Yep.
Just missed. Ava Winterburn over to Maggie Sasso again underneath. Oh, travel.
Double dribble.
Oh,
Yeah.
double dribble.
Just got stuck on the baseline there.
I'm glad the refs aren't calling every ticky-tack thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Maggie was kind of petitioning for a little bit of a
Yeah, there was a little bit of
foul
contact, but
there.
most officials will tell you if you're a little out of control, I'm not going to give you the benefit of that foul either.
Right. So Automani with the ball for Memorial. She's got Vaughn all over her. Over to Rossi. Rossi makes a good play inside. Got a decent shot. Winterburn with that long pass to Ruggiero.
Followed
and
by
then Sasso right in. Good coverage for
Bob,
Goffstown.
what impresses me about this team when they're in transition like that is they don't stop and everybody runs the floor. And sometimes you get that cheap follow-up basket because you're hustling down the floor.
And that's exactly what they need to do. So Meredith Winterburn over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero's underneath. Looking around. Ooh, she's taking a long
That
three.
was
and
deep.
she hit it. Good for her. Nice three.
Yeah.
Timeout. Memorial.
Yes, timeout.
So the Memorial coach isn't very happy. And
No.
for those of you who might not have heard it, he said, guess what you guys are earning right now? 2 hours of running.
Yeah.
So that's going to make their next practice pretty tough. Coach Largy actually did a lot of that running on the girls after the Winnicott game on Tuesday. So they had a tough time on Wednesday and Thursday doing the
Yeah, I'll
practice.
say, Bob, he was tough on them, but rightfully so. I think it straightened them out a little bit. And when they came out in that first quarter tonight, you could see there was that fire again. The quick transition, sharing the ball. So that's what this team is going to be known for, is the quickness, the pace of the game, and sharing the ball.
Well, and you got that's the part of it is that the layers there, and then we saw it take place there where you had Ruggiero going in, and Ava Winterburn was there, and then Maggie Sasso was right there, and it's like one right after the other.
Yep.
So you could stop one, not maybe even two, but you're not getting the third one.
That's exactly right.
So now you got Fatan going in, and she sinks a rebound over two Grizzlies. Ava Ruggiero's coming down, but she's basically allowed to come all the way past center
Yeah,
court.
good give and go there.
Yep. Almani got it. Headman's at the Burnett. Burnett tries
Good
to go
step
in.
in by Ava.
Yep. Tried to go into Almani, but you can't do that in front of Ruggiero. Oop. It's off Memorial.
Don't force
So-
it. We can't turn it over.
So Memorial goes out of bounds. Went off Burnett. So Ava Ruggiero's going to inbound this. Ruggiero, Ava Winterburn, and Winterburn again. 5, 6 feet. Anywhere in that perimeter. Like you said, you could put lines on
It's like watching it on repeat. The motion, the jump shot, the rotation all looks the same.
Baton takes I think an outside shot she probably shouldn't have took. Which I think she's coming out now.
Foul on Meredith Winterburn.
And Meredith a little
Second.
aggressive underneath to Burnett. So Kaylee Burnett is going to go to the line. We got Osway working her way back in the game. And I'll tell you right now, she's going in for Fatan.
Get the inside scoop.
Yep. Kaylee, first shot off the rim. So Kaylee's going to take her second shot. 40-21. Kaylee hits the second one. So 40-22. Here come the Grizzlies. Ruggiero's directing traffic. And again, Goffstown slowing it down on offense. That's what they need to do. Oh, excellent play by Burnett to intercept it over to Rossi. Just caught Rossi a little off guard there. Amani. She drew a foul.
Yeah, foul on Ruggiero.
Yep. But that's, again, Ruggiero being aggressive, which we need her to do.
Yeah, on our end, Manchester Memorial, the defender, I think it was Burnett here, stepped in the passing lane down here and was able to get that steal and get in transition for them.
Amani hits the foul. She's doing good on the line.
Yeah, and she's got 8
having
total points. So
Yeah, better luck on the line than she is with her shooting. You wouldn't know it. I mean, she looks like she'd
real
be
natural
lights
shot,
out,
Yeah.
Don't let her catch it. Don't let her catch
but she's not catching much breaks.
No.
So you got Sasso now with the ball. So it's over mid-court inside the Winterburn, but she's fouled by Schmidt. Schmidt, little push in the back.
I mean, I don't know how you defend that. I mean, they're going into Winterburn on the high post. She catches it. What do you do? Push her from behind, I guess.
Well, especially over Schmidt. She's got a good 5 inches at least on her. Meredith's going to inbound this. She just lobs it up to her sister, and again, they got a size disadvantage there with Schmidt trying to cover.
And that was very similar to the play the other night that she got fouled on to hit the free throws. They just lobbed it up, and Ava was there. Off her knee.
And off the knee. And of course, now they're bringing McKelvey back in.
Yeah.
Because they got to put size on size.
I mean, what an advantage when you have Winterburn like that, who's 6'1", arm length, 8 feet tall. Just lob it up and let her go to work.
And the most important thing, I mean, as we know, because we've seen other players in this league, they got the height, but they don't have the athleticism. So Winterburn's got both. So we're very fortunate to have her right now. Maggie Sasso. Sasso works it in, trying to go underneath, trying to, I think, overplay to Ava. Ava was covered by 3 players. Went off Memorial, though, so Ruggiero's going to inbound this. Ruggiero's looking, goes inside to Ava, who Winterburn went right back to Ruggiero. Ruggiero tried to
go.
Almani's got the ball. She's being double-teamed by both the Winterburns. Toss it out to Rossi. Rossi tries to take a outside 3.
Yeah.
Missed everything there.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to hit that deep shot, that 3-pointer. They've had to work hard for the points that they do have.
So Memorial going to do some pressing here.
Pressure's on. It's a point in the game where they got to get a couple turnovers, a couple quick baskets. Otherwise, this is going to get out of hand.
Right. Caroline Foreman is working her way back in the game.
Timeout for Goffstown.
Yep. I think they're going to organize something, put in some more size. Yeah, like you said, I think Memorial is pulling all the stops now, trying whatever they can.
Yep. Let's get some turnovers. Let's run, get some transition baskets, and hopefully get some turnovers with this press. Goffstown was able to handle it in the first half with some good passing. I would like to see him break that press, get it to half court, and then just work it inside. Look for those driving lanes and look for Winterburn inside.
Right, and I think the key at this point with this lead is they just have to slow it down. The clock is their friend right now, so just work the clock down and slow it down offensively, and don't take ill-advised shots. They don't need to shoot from the perimeter. They don't need to be as desperate as Memorial is probably going to be.
Exactly.
Memorial is not getting the luck, though, with the shooting.
Yeah.
They seem to have some very good athletes on this team, though. I'm
agree,
kind of impressed
agree.
with Memorial, and part of me is surprised at this.
Yeah, and I think what you said earlier was they had a lot of great shots that just rolled around the rim and rolled out. What if 4 or 5 of those fell early on? This would be a tight game.
Right.
Yeah, I'm impressed, too. They have some athletic ability. They're young. The guards are very quick. And I think McKelvey inside was impressive early on. The shots just aren't falling right now.
Yep, that's it. Again, though, they got a mismatch here in the size. They're putting Schmidt on Winterburn, and I don't think it's working at all.
No.
Winterburn got that ball, dishes it off to Maggie Sasso, back to Winterburn. She got Rossi and Schmidt on her, and she did a travel.
Yeah, I think she was looking for a foul, but at that point we talked about it. Break the press, get it over half court, slow it down.
Right.
Work the ball.
No reason to hurry this up.
Right.
So Memorial inbounds this. Rossi over to Almani. Almani's working it down. Tries to go around Ruggiero, kicks it out to Burnett. Burnett over to Schmidt. Schmidt's trying to work it in the top of the circle. Back out to Almani. She's got Meredith Winterburn on her, keeping her to the outside. Again, the Grizzlies are doing a good job of not allowing penetration.
Absolutely.
Oh, but they get it there. Burnett inside to McKelvey. And McKelvey draws the foul, but again, missed the shot, so she's not going for the 3 here. I like her underneath. She seems to be very aggressive with the ball, but she's having a hard time sinking in the basket.
Yeah, just finishing it, yep.
And this is the difference, like we were talking about with Ava Winterburn. Somebody who can actually, has the accuracy to put the basket in.
Yep.
Makes a big difference.
Yep.
So she's going to go for her second shot. And just off the back rim, Ava Winterburn got the rebound over to her sister Meredith. Meredith works it in outside to Caroline Foreman's taking another 3-pointer. Just missed that one. Caroline hit from there earlier.
We can't run if we don't board. Grab the rebound so we can run.
Rossi inbounds this to Amani. Amani's working it down. Ruggiero's meeting her in the top of the circle. To draw the foul, though. It's going to be on Ava Winterburn.
I think he might have got Ruggiero on this one. Nope, you're right.
See? Every now and then. I just said Ava originally, and I knew I would have been right. There's a 70% chance of being right if you'd use the name Ava. Monty goes to the line. She's very good on the line.
Very smooth. And I would bet that for them to get back in this game, the ball's got to go through her. Pepper Amani's got to drive. She's got to look inside, hit the three. She's the key to their offense.
So Penny Annis worked her way back into the game for Goffstown. Amani again. I think another basket on the line.
She's 7 for 7 from the line.
Yeah, virtually all her points are coming from there. So Ruggiero now slows it down offensively, which is what Goffstown needs to do. Maggie takes a long three off the back rim and out, kicked it out. McKelvey picked up the rebound over to Amani. Amani's trying to drive in. She made a nice spin play and just missed getting that in. Everybody's going for that rebound. McKelvey got it after Amani. Burnett tried to go work it in. It was basically sandwiched between Caroline and Penny Annis.
And Penny picked up the foul. That's 3 on her.
Yeah. She hasn't even played that much, and
No.
she's drawn a lot of fouls already. Rossi's got the ball now on the line. She'll inbound this for Memorial.
Oh,
And
great read
Ruggiero.
by Ruggiero.
Yep, picked that off, and now she's going in. Oh, just missed, but look at that. Penny Annis
in there, yeah.
followed up. Looked like she was fouled.
There's
on
a
that,
heck of a lot
but
of
let it go.
contact.
Yep. So Rossi here slows it down for Memorial just over the midcourt. It's got Ava Winterburn on her, so she's not going to be able to drive it in. Over to Burnett. Burnett back to Rossi. Rossi's taking a long, deep three. Not really even close. Burnett has it. Over to Amani. He takes a three and just missed that one. Again, the rebounds. Grizzlies
Hot
very
potato in
aggressive
there.
under there.
They got
Between
lucky, yeah.
Caroline Foreman and Maggie Sasso from the floor. Doing a good job.
I'm watching Largy give Ava Winterburn a little discussion like, why aren't you under the basket for the rebound? That's where we need you.
Right. Ruggiero throws it up in the air for Ava Winterburn. Sends it down to Penny Annis. Penny just held up on that. I think they thought she was just going to go for the layup, but
she's a strong
basically
left-handed
stopped.
shot, which is nice.
Yeah, you get Penny on a roll, she's going to be very good. She's certainly got the size.
She's just bouncing back. She had an injury at the holiday tournament, sprained ankle. So
oh, that's right.
This is her first game
yeah,
back.
I heard about that. That's right.
5 seconds.
Amani. What happened?
Called a 5-second call.
Oh. Okay. That came in out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's 3.4 seconds. We'll see if the Grizzly can get a shot off here.
44-27. So 17-point lead. Again, Grizzlies are controlling this game pretty good, but again, I can't help but I do.
A little poke in the face.
Yeah, from Burnett and Ava Ruggiero.
Yeah, it was just incidental running back, and
Yep.
that's her third foul on Burnett. Now we're at 1.2 seconds, so you got to watch for a lob here to Winterburn, no?
I would guess that's going to be it. It might go out to Penny Annis. Nope.
Oh, Vaughn.
Go to Ava Vaughn.
All right, well,
for a three.
got to get one off.
Again, I can't help but I love the way we're playing. The Grizzlies look very good. They're dominating the game clearly, but I still like Memorial's play. You know that they're very determined. They have not gave up at all.
No, they haven't.
And they're trying to work their way back into this, and they seem to have a lot of good athletes. But like you said, they're not sinking the shots.
No, and this is they come into the game 4-0, so this is a tough team. They've won their first 4 games.
Right.
Little adversity here. You're going against a team that's a little taller, maybe a little more physical than you've seen already. Some of those early shots go down. I think we got a much closer game. So
right.
We'll see how they bounce. You got 1 quarter left. He's going to draw something up here. Let's put some pressure on. We need some turnovers.
Yeah, I think, well, again, the key for the Grizzlies is, and I think one of the standout of things in this game is how they're doing with the rebounding on both sides of the court. We're really controlling under the basket. Like you mentioned earlier, we're really only giving Memorial their very few times that they had multiple shots or multiple opportunities. They're getting basically that one look, and if they're not getting that going in, and as we mentioned earlier, they had a lot of good shots that weren't going in, and that's really been the difference in the game, I think.
I agree. Yeah, no, it's a great point. So it looks like the Grizzlies will keep Ruggiero, Annis, Ava Winterburn, Caroline Foreman, and Ava Vaughn in.
And for Memorial, you got Ottomani, and then you got McKelvey, Rossi, and Burnett. So Rossi's going to inbound this over to Amani. Amani to Ottomani. Over to Rossi. Rossi goes right around
Good
Ava
block.
Winterburn, but Winterburn came in behind her and
Yeah,
just
nice block.
blocked that ball. Winterburn over to Ruggiero. Oh, Ruggiero a little aggressive, I thought. Well, they're going to call Rossi, though.
Emma, understand if she's chasing you, she's going to block you every time.
So you got Ava Vaughn now is going to inbound this. Again, I think the Grizzlies just slow down offensively. We don't need to get a ton of baskets here. Just
Yeah.
make them count.
Control.
Control, right. Control the offense. Winterburn underneath.
Good up and under.
Yeah, beautiful play.
Yeah, there's no urgency for the Grizzlies. Work the ball.
Amani worked in underneath, did a layup that went just wide. Now she's taking a shot from the 3. Penny Annis, again, got the rebound. Foreman tried to come out with it, lost it.
Memorial's going to be feisty. We know that. They need every loose ball they can get.
Rossi works her way in, and I think she drew a foul on Ava. Oh, yeah, it's Ava. I just said Ava, that was right.
Yeah, and that's 4. That's 4 for Ava Winterburn.
So she's going to come out. Looks like Maggie Sasso's going to go in. Looks like Meredith Winterburn's working her way back in, too.
Give her a quick blow.
So Rossi's going to take the shot. And the first one she sinks. 46-28. Caroline Foreman and, of course, Ava Winterburn came out. And you got Meredith Winterburn and Maggie Sasso in. Rossi takes her second shot and hit that one. That's a clean shot. Winterburn over to Sasso. Maggie kind of scopes things out. Over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero slowing it down a little bit. Tries to work her way in.
Yeah, good
She
take.
actually did a good job working her way in there.
Yeah.
She drew a foul.
Yeah, she gave that little ball fake like she was going to pass to Maggie on the wing, and here it goes, the replay here. She comes off, looks like she's going to dish it out, and up she goes.
So Burnett is out now. 5 fouls.
Maddie, you take it.
So in for Memorial. So Osway again.
Okay, we're still trying to get downhill.
Ava Ruggiero just missed that one. Ottomani picked up the rebound. Looks down the court. She's working it down, trying to get around Vaughn. Over to Rossi. Rossi in the corner. Throws it out. She just tried to hit Amani and missed. Amani got the ball, but looks like she twisted her leg a little bit. Ruggiero went down in a heap. Oof.
Looks like it might be the injured knee from last year. So Ava picks up her second foul. A little helter-skelter to start this quarter, both sides. Memorial needs to play that way, and they need to force some turnovers. So Ava Winterburn picks up a 4th foul. You got to take control of the ball here, work some clock, and get your good shots.
Right. And you don't want to see the Grizzlies starting to get sloppy now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
again, they got to get more control again.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about all kinds of ways to win, and this is a time where You want to put this game away. You don't want to let a team like this hang around too long because they'll fight back in.
Yeah, Amani's being helped off the court, so
Yeah.
clearly she hurt that right knee.
Yeah.
I think Ruggiero kind of rolled it.
Yeah, it looked like they kind of had some contact collision over there. So unintentional, but
You hate to see anybody get hurt.
oh,
so.
and that's the heart and soul of this team. She's
Yeah, well, she's clearly the most athletic they got.
Absolutely,
And she's
absolutely.
So it's a good performance for her, but it looks like she's going to be done for the
yeah.
evening.
So with Pepper Omani going out,
For
the
Tom.
coach gets to pick whoever they want to shoot. So he's picked Rossi, obviously their best free throw shooter, outside of Pepper Omani, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Monty hasn't missed from the line at all tonight. So Rossi's going to take the shot.
She's got a smooth shot.
Yep, and she cut the lead down to 16 for the Grizzlies.
Wait, hold on. Hey, guys. 0 is on the court. How can she shoot?
He said anybody can shoot it.
Anybody can shoot the one-on-one? Or is it a sub? The sub can shoot. Shouldn't it be the substitute that shoots?
Okay. Explain all that, Rob.
Yeah, the question is, who gets to shoot the foul? At the high school level, the coach does get to pick. I think at the college level, it becomes the person who's subbing into the game.
So Rossi hit both. So 31 to 46. The lead's down to 15 now for Goffstown. And again, the Grizzlies just need to slow it down.
Yep, work the
Just
ball.
work the clock. Maggie takes a long three, and in retrospect, we probably shouldn't have taken that shot.
Yeah, that's the one. Hey, Maggie, let's drive to the basket. Let's see what we can get.
Or just pass the ball around. Let's
Yeah.
kill some clock. We need to just slow it down when we're on offense. Ottomani's got the ball now, works it out at the perimeter. Over to Osway. Osway takes a shot from the three, just misses. Ottomani's right there. She drives it over to Rossi, drives in. She's draw the foul. So now she'll go to the line again, and she's been a good shooter. Looks like Ava Winterburn's going to work her way back into the game. So
Rossi going back to the line here.
Rossi's been good on the line.
Yes, 4 in a row.
And
Five.
5 in a row. So Ava Winterburn's working her way back in for Penny Annis. And you also had, who's that, Duff?
Peyton.
Peyton Duff came back in.
Yep.
And that was for Ava Vaughn. So Rossi takes another one, 6 in a row. She's hit now. So 33 to 46, lead down to 13. Meredith Winterburn has the ball over to Ava Ruggiero. Again, I think the key for Goffstown is slow the ball down.
Double
Oh,
dribble. There comes the mental errors. Largy's getting frustrated. He's got to finish the game. You got to take care of the ball.
yeah, I'd like him to call another timeout and settle him down.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Rossi's got the ball here. She's going to inbound it to Ottomani, but Ruggiero's kind of on her, keeping her to the outside. And the Grizzlies just can't allow them the penetration. I think if they force them to shoot from the outside, we should be able to keep them.
Called an illegal screen there.
So now Meredith Winterburn's going to inbound this for the Grizzlies. Again, I'd like to see the girls slow it down.
I mean, it's just under 6 minutes. It's a 13-point game, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And we had as much as, 25-point
Yeah.
lead earlier at one point, or certainly 20. Meredith Winterburn takes a long three. Again, ill-advised at this point. We got to slow it down. Ooh, Meredith Winterburn
Yeah,
went
it looks
down.
like she hit her head. The trainers earning their money tonight.
Yep. There were a lot of injuries in the JV game, too.
Was there?
Yeah. Meredith is getting up. She's going to try to shake this off.
So Meredith joins her
just
sister.
can't-
Both sisters have 4 fouls.
She can't do it. So Meredith's going to come off. Shannon O'Brien's going to go in. That's always on the line. Again, Memorial's content to keep
They're
going to the
hanging
line.
in there, yeah.
And
Well, you hear
chip away
coaches
at this
say,
lead.
how do you extend the game? Well, you get fouled and you go to the line because the clock stops.
Right. So Ava's now got the ball. Over to Maggie Sasso. Sasso drives underneath. That's what we needed. Nice drive underneath and just does a nice layup. Fatan inbounds it to Rossi. Rossi now with the ball. Sasso's on her. Keeps it to the outside. Automani. White. 3. Calling Ruggiero again for a hold.
That puts us in a double bonus. That's 10 fouls.
So again, Memorial goes to the line.
So they're already going to be attempting free throws number 8 and 9 in this quarter.
And that's just too much. So Fatan just missed on the first free throw. She'll get a second opportunity. But again, the girls are getting a little sloppy at this point.
Yep.
So McKelvey got the rebound and laid it up. So now it's 35-48. Leads back down to 13. Ava Winterburn's got the ball, drives it over midcourt. She's got Automani on her. Winterburn's trying to go in. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien over to Sasso. Sasso's taking a long three.
I don't know how that didn't go out of bounds.
I don't know. Yeah. They're calling a travel on Ava Winterburn.
Hit the top though, right? I know it's coming back to our ball. I didn't see it. If it hits the top, it's out of bounds.
Hit the belt. Yeah. The Memorial coach is noticing. We've seen that happen a couple times, and they're not blowing the whistle for that. They're supposed to blow the whistle.
He's, top of the backboard is actually inbounds. If it hits the strap that's up there or some other piece of the apparatus, then it's out.
Right. So Rossi's got the ball, trying to work it inside, and she actually went in.
It's getting chippy now.
Yep. And Maggie Sasso draws the foul on Automani. So that'll put Maggie on the line. So again, down to 4.5 minutes to go. Burnett's going to come back in for Fatan. So Maggie Sasso's going to the line for the Grizzlies, 48-35. And Maggie just missed the shot, but she, with the help of Ava Vaughn, got the rebound.
2 rebounds in a row.
Winterburn's got it on the outside. Inside to Vaughn. Outside to Winterburn. Slows it down. That a girl, Ava. So Ava's just dribbling around. That's right. First move. There you go. Ava Ruggiero is going to hold it.
Be smart here.
This is what we have to do. Just kill the clock. Ruggiero tried to go in underneath. Get a layup, but Winterburn gets the rebound. Ruggiero steps out to take a 3 and misses. Rossi gets the ball. Memorial calls the timeout.
Yeah, it's you can tell both teams, feeling, I think, a little tired. Plays a little sloppy. A lot of reaching fouls. There's 17 fouls in this, in this half. It's a lot of fouls. A great job by Ava Vaughn. 3 straight offensive rebounds on that last possession.
Again, the rebounds have been the key for us, the whole game, and that's really what's been keeping us in. That and the fact that Memorial's having a harder time sinking some of those shots because now this game's getting a little tighter.
It is.
You can almost feel the tension in here.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost feel like Memorial can come back, and I think they can if the Grizzlies keep getting sloppy.
Yeah. You're always just a couple baskets away from getting on that run that might be 4 points or 6 points, and then it cuts into that lead. You said the tension. I could feel it. You can see it on the girls. I can see it, the coaches. I'm watching some of those parents across the way. They're getting kind of tense over there as well.
Exactly. They're getting a little nervous. But what I liked was the last time the Grizzlies just had the ball between Ava Winterburn and Ruggiero. They were controlling the pace, and they were slowing it down.
That's right. You want the captains, the senior captains, to say, look, we got this. Pull it back out. Let's slow it down and let's work it.
Right. They got to realize the clock is on their side.
That's exactly right.
If they just play smart now, there's no reason why they can't walk off the court with a win.
That's right.
We don't need to score 80 points. I know they want to, but it's not going to happen. Memorial's playing very well. Rossi on the outside to Burnett. Burnett's trying to work it in. Ruggiero's on her, keeping her to the outside, pressing her really good. Rossi again takes a long 3. Now the ref calls the
Yeah, it
belt.
hit the strap.
Well,
yeah.
I realize that. It's hit the strap 4 times.
I think their
That's
coach
the first
reminded
time.
him that that's the rule.
Yeah. Now he calls it against them, so not happy about that. Ruggiero to Winterburn, back to Ruggiero. Obviously, Memorial's pressing. Burnett did a good job knocking it away from Ruggiero. Over to... Okay, so Coach Largy's going to call a timeout here. So we took it over mid-court and called a timeout.
Yeah, so we're under 4 minutes here. You know, we sound like a broken record, but Goffstown's got to take care of the ball. If you're Memorial, and he's probably going to tell them this, we got to trap, we got to get loose balls, we got to get second chances. We have to be aggressive.
And you have to press.
You do.
Yep.
Put a couple back-to-back possessions together, turn them over. You know, they want to extend the game. If we take it to the basket, we get fouled, the clock stops. So they're going to be clear on what they need to do. Goffstown's got to figure a way to hold out, be tough, and finish this off.
And clearly offensively now, especially with Amani out, Rossi's their best scoring chance.
Yep.
So I think they're going to try to get the ball to her every chance they get. So it's important that Goffstown realizes that and probably put somebody like Ruggiero on her and just try to make sure she doesn't get it too many opportunities.
The Winterburn sisters both have 4 fouls. Ava Ruggiero's got 3. So, you know, there's mounting a little bit of foul trouble for the Grizzlies. But I'm with you. You know, put your best player on Rossi, shut her down, and let's finish this.
Right. And control the pace on offense.
Yeah.
So Meredith Winterburn's back in the game after her sort of bout with the floor when she got injured. Over to Ruggiero, back to Meredith. Over to Ruggiero, over to Ava on the top at center court. And again, Ava's slowing it down. That's what I like to see. And then she drives in. She tried to draw the foul. And
somebody stepped out. I'm blocked by the official, but somebody stepped out of bounds from Memorial.
So now Ruggiero's going to inbound this. Goffstown can't just count on fouls. I mean, I think that's what they're kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
They just got to control the clock. Meredith Winterburn takes a 2. Just missed that one. So now Rossi's got the ball, controlling it into Burnett. Burnett now is looking, but got Ruggiero on her. Again, Goffstown's doing a good job of keeping him outside. Ava Winterburn hits down the rebound. Over to Vaughn. Vaughn's driving on Almani.
I'm not sure what happened there, but there was a lot of contact.
Yep. Looks like Vaughn ran into Almani.
Yeah.
And they both got knocked down. It went out of bounds. I think it went off Almani. Yeah. So Grizzlies will still control the ball. Again, we're down to under 3 minutes. So again, slowing it down. Oh, Meredith tried to take the shot.
She got bailed out there. McKelvey with her second.
So that'll put Meredith on the line. So Meredith's going to get 2 shots here. Oop. One just off. Just wide off the rim. Meredith will go to the line for her second shot. And that's also just a little off. But Maggie Sasso did a good job of getting the rebound over to Ava Winterburn and missed. Back to Sasso. Ruggiero's taking a long 3. That went off the rim, and Almani came in with the rebound. Winterburn aggressively going in there and getting the ball. I was going to say Ruggiero probably didn't need to take that 3. We really got to be more controlled here. The game's getting tighter, but Winterburn went in there and kind of made up for it. So Goffstown did hit 50 points now. So Burnett's got the ball over to Rossi. Rossi tries to drive it in, backs out to McGelvey, back to Burnett, over to Schmidt, kind of over her head though.
Yeah, you know, Memorial moved the ball really well. There was a lot of great passing there, but you know, the clock is your enemy at this point. No one was driving to the basket. Quick ball movements, quick cuts, but no shot.
Right. Meredith Winterburn's trying to inbound this over to Ava Ruggiero. Ruggiero has Burnett on her, but she got around her. Kicks it out to Maggie Sasso to Meredith. Ava Vaughn takes a 3. Again off the rim. Vaughn and Schmidt are going for it. Vaughn got it but fell, so it's a travel. So again, Memorial's going to control it.
And it's not a Grizzly game unless Vaughn hits the floor as the goalkeeper.
And she's hit it a few times already. So here we go. Burnett's working in against Ruggiero. Ruggiero keeps it outside. Rossi cuts in around Maggie Sasso.
Into
Over
McKelvey.
McKelvey. McKelvey sinks it too, and Memorial's going to call a timeout here. No, you can't.
Not quick enough.
Yeah. So Ruggiero's got the ball. Ruggiero over midcourt. Minute 40 seconds left. Vaughn steps around. Up. They're going to call a foul
on the
off the
baseline.
time. It's kind of a good thing, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
you almost get the feeling if there was more time in this game, Memorial would really
They
make
find
a
a
run.
way to win. I do.
You know, because the Grizzlies seem to be giving every opportunity for Memorial to do
agree.
this. And some of it is just unnecessary kind of stuff. They just got to slow down. All these girls are smart enough to know that. So Vaughn's taking the line, and beautiful. Nice shot. Sinks the first one, 51-37. Caroline Foreman's going to work her way back into the game.
Looks like she's going in for the shooter.
Yep. Vaughn's on the line. Takes the shot. Just off the backboard. McKelvey got it over to Rossi. Rossi's driving on Ava Ruggiero. And she just missed. Maggie Sasso got the ball. Tried to go over to Vaughn, but blocked by McKelvey. Vaughn still came up with it. Almost ran out to the science lab. Ran off the court. Out of bounds.
Foul on Brunette. That looks like 5 on her.
Yeah, well, that happened to the far end, so we couldn't really see
Yeah.
how. But Burnett's not protesting too much, so.
It looked like there was a little shove at the end there.
So
But again,
Vaughn goes back to the line.
Again, I just don't understand. It looks like we're in urgency to get to the basket and get a shot off. You know, you're under 2 minutes. Time to work the clock.
Yeah, it's a minute and a half.
Yeah.
There was no need to even try to get that going. Just get it over midcourt and play catch.
Yeah. Let keep away, right?
Right. Vaughn sank them both, 53. Caroline Foreman comes in for Vaughn. So Memorial's going to inbound this. Rossi's going to inbound it to Fatan. Grizzlies will go back. So we got Sasso, Meredith Winterburn, Caroline Foreman, Penny Annis, and of course Ruggiero's out there. Rossi's trying to work her way around the wing over to Osway.
Penny got caught.
And that's what, 4 for her?
That's 4 on her. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll put Osway to the line. Again, Memorial's happy to play it this way and
Clock
keep going
stops.
to the line.
Yeah, get some points on the board.
Grizzlies should, I mean, I think it's safe to say they're going to win the game, but
Yeah.
because they're going to bleed out the clock. But I think the fourth quarter was really sloppy.
It was. It might have been all that extra running at practice.
That could be, but they needed it.
Yeah. They looked a little tired.
They made, you know what it could be? It could be all the chicken wings they had last night.
Oh,
at,
I understand. You
yes.
treated them all at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I wanted to, but there were too many of them.
Just put it on the GTV tab, will you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but Dave forgot to give me the credit card. So Maggie Sasso's got it. Penny Annis, yeah, she did back up.
did.
It was a travel, so they are going to
Somebody from the stands called that,
Yeah,
actually. I heard
right.
it.
Hey, let's get downhill. Let's get downhill.
But that's one of those, you know, as an underclassman in Penny's first real varsity experience, coach is going to say, look, Penny, that's a good shot normally, but let's work this clock.
Right. So Rossi's got the ball. She's trying to drive underneath.
Into McKelvey.
Out to McElvey, who's wide open
Yeah,
under the
6
basket.
this quarter for her.
Yeah. See, now she's sinking them.
Yeah.
So Maggie Sasso works it over midcourt. Now, if the Grizzlies are smart, they don't even bother to shoot.
No, I just run the clock, play
Yeah.
keep away.
Penny Annis got the ball over to Caroline Foreman, over to Maggie Sasso. Sasso's got Rossi hanging all over. Ava Ruggiero's got the ball, works it around midcourt, over to Penny Annis. Annis works it over to Maggie Sasso, who's got Rossi on her. Rossi
Gives up the foul there.
gives up the foul to Maggie. So that'll put Maggie on the line. So 20 seconds left. Grizzlies are ahead by 13.
We're in the double bonus. There was quite a few fouls here in the second half.
Yep. Sasso sent that one. How many she got from the line?
That's her third. We've got 7 points tonight.
She's
Almost
I was just about to say she
friendly
got that
roll,
one too.
Lane violation on Memorial, so Maggie's going to get an extra shot out of this.
So she gets another chance.
Yeah.
Get her to 8. How many
Got a
points does she
bloody
have?
nose. She's got 7.
So Satan got injured.
Yeah.
Atamani's coming back in. Looks like
Abigail Astano.
Astano is coming back in for
Ruggiero.
Ava Ruggiero. So Maggie gets one shot here. And she sinks that one. So Osway inbounds it to Rossi. Rossi's trying to penetrate in. The Grizzlies back off and kind of let her, and Atamani takes a long 3. 43-53, lead down to 12. 55-43, rather. Oh. Meredith Winterburn tries, I don't know what she was trying.
Oh, Coach gave her the look like, are you looking at the clock? There's 3.8 seconds.
Yeah, so basically gave the ball to Memorial. So final score 55-43. The Goffstown Grizzlies, Lady Grizzlies, I think earlier it was a dominant performance. I think the fourth quarter was a little disappointing though.
Yeah, I feel like they got away with what worked early, which was feeding the post, driving to the basket, started to settle. And then when they had a chance to really separate in the third and fourth quarter, it got sloppy.
Right.
And credit to Memorial. They hung in there and they were aggressive.
Yep.
But things got really sloppy.
Yep. I thought Memorial again played very good. I think they're a pretty impressive team.
Yeah.
And yet I forgot coming in. We didn't really talk about it much because we were talking about the sort of the Winter Classic that they had,
Yep.
and we were talking about the game at Winnicott that the Grizzlies were lucky to pull out.
Yep.
But we didn't talk much about the Memorial team, and you're right, they came into this 4-0 on the season, so they're not a slouch.
No, not at all.
You know, and you could see why.
Yeah.
I thought they played very well.
Yeah, I think, I'm just looking at the end of the bench here. It looks like Pepper Romani's going to go out with a knee injury. I heard the coaches exchange. It doesn't look good. And that's a shame because she's a force.
Yeah.
What a sweet shot. Can get to the basket. And you hate to see her go out like that.
Right, and and she's clearly the most athletic player
Absolutely.
for Memorial.
Absolutely.
And she's unbelievable on the line.
Yep.
She didn't miss one on the line. I was also impressed with Rossi.
Yeah.
Rossi played very well.
She's an underclassman, is that right? Is she a?
Yeah, I think she was thought she was a sophomore here.
Yeah. I was impressed too. She handled
Emma
the ball
Rossi. Oh no, she's a senior.
Okay. I
Okay,
thought she was
so-
younger. But yeah,
so-
you could tell she could handle the ball. Nice shot. Looked for his teammates.
Yeah, and again, smart player. But like we said, Memorial, I mean, there was no quit. I mean, even when they were down by, 25, 26, I can't remember the highest
Yeah, I don't
lead
remember.
that we had, but it was somewhere in the 20s.
Yep.
We were certainly up by over 20 a couple times. Memorial wasn't quitting. And early on, I mean, you could see some frustration coming in like in the second quarter.
Yep.
Because the first quarter I felt that they weren't, I don't want to say they were dominating the
It was
Grizzlies.
19-9.
But they were playing pretty even with the
Yeah.
Grizzlies, but they weren't getting the baskets.
Exactly.
But the pace of the play and the shot selection and everything else was pretty equal. And if a few of those baskets dropped in, this game would have been a lot different.
I agree. We talked about that, and I think we were tough on our own Grizzlies in the second half about taking care of the ball and eating some clock. But championship basketball teams figure out how to drain that clock. Go to the foul line, make your free throws, and don't force it. Take what they
Right.
give you and run that clock down. So I know Coach is going to hit him up in the locker room about that.
Right.
There was a couple good looks he gave his players at the end of the game.
Yep.
Let's milk the clock. Let's work the clock, and let's get out of here.
And what I liked about consistency throughout the whole game, one area with the Grizzlies were very consistent was with the rebounds.
Yeah.
I felt that they controlled under the baskets on both sides of the court. It was very few times where Memorial was getting a second or third opportunity. There was a couple of times in that second half, but for the most part, we were controlling all the rebounds, and that's important. We are interviews today? Or
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a couple interviews. We'll figure out who we're gonna get coming up. The Grizzlies go on the road Tuesday at Concord. A week from tonight, they're back here home against Nashua North.
Okay, so we're going to step out for a few minutes, and we'll be back with some interviews after. So good night, and hopefully you'll be staying around for the interviews. Thank you.
This tension is rising so thick we just might choke. But if we keep moving, it ain't us that's gonna wind up broke. Some people might think we're crazy, but crazy is all we've known. It's probably that they just ain't ready. That's why they're going up in smoke. We're giving this all we've got. We're taking our only shot. On a tightrope, we're surviving. Yeah. Trying to make it to a new horizon. This moment feels so cutthroat. So cutthroat. So cutthroat. The stakes get so much higher when it's so late on the line. But we don't feel no fear. We ain't got no kryptonite. We're giving this all we've got. We're taking our only shot. No. On a tightrope, we're surviving. Yeah. Trying to make it to a new horizon. This moment feels so cutthroat. So cutthroat.
If you're gonna make it, you better remember that only the strongest survive. Give it your all and be willing to die for the reason that you are alive. Answer the call when you get it, or all you gon' be is to be left behind. It's see is believing, don't leave them a reason to leave. Leave it all on the line. Ain't about to buy what they selling me. No time for the lies that they telling me. Not waiting for handouts, I know where I'm going. I'm leading the charge like a felony. So let the haters keep spitting that venom and thinking it cuts like a knife. They fueling the fire, the passion's ignited. Can't stop me from shining, cause now is my time.
We're giving this all we've got. We're taking our only shot. No. On a tightrope,
moving forward.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans. We're here with one of our stars of the game, Maggie Sasso. Nice game tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, you had 8 points all in the second half.
Yep.
So kind of tell me what you were thinking. I mean, what was the difference?
Well, I was going into the half kind of down on myself a little bit. I got out and I took a couple shots just to get back in the rhythm, and then I decided that I needed to take shots that were there, not shots that I was forcing.
Actually, if you guys go back and watch the broadcast, which I think some of you guys do, Bob and I talked a lot about there are chances you have in the game where there's an open lane and you drive to the basket.
Yep.
Your first step is so quick to get to the basket.
Right.
We love watching it. We want to see it more.
I know.
We want to see more. All right, so now talk a little bit. I think you guys went in spurts. You know, first quarter, 19 points. Third quarter,
Right.
17 points. You know, second quarter, 8 points. It's like touch and go. Tell me a little bit about the offense, what you guys are focused on.
I think we're just focused on moving the ball, getting it to the open player, not forcing the shot, especially rebounding, getting those second chances, putting it back up. Just really getting it to the right player to take the right shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough game the other night at Winnacunnet.
Yep.
I was anxious to see how you guys would rebound tonight.
Yeah.
They were 4-0. You're 3-1. A little crosstown rivalry.
I know.
And we were very impressed with what they have on that team. They have some good athletes and some good players. What was your game plan going in to defend them?
Our game plan going into defend was to key on 23 Maddie Pepperomani, also 0 Emma Rossi, and just kind of keep those kids intact and play help defense on number 20 and down low and just get back defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Good bounce back tonight. So we're going into Concord next week, Nashua North, I think. What are a couple things you'd like to see this team work on as we move through the season?
I think just making sure we take the right shots, like no forcing, getting back defensively. I think we're capable of all those things. I mean, we've seen it all the season.
Yeah.
And I think we have it in us.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do. We're Bob and I are excited. This is a special feeling with this team.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
you guys play well together.
Yeah.
You pass the ball, you distribute the ball. Everybody can score. You know, so it's
Right,
not like
yeah.
Ava Winterburn's going to get 20. We know
Right,
that. But
yeah.
you're going to get 8. Ava Ruggiero is going to get 10.
Yeah.
The bench players come in. They're scoring 3, 6, 8
Yeah.
points. So we like what we see. Tell me a little bit about the Winnacunnet game, because I know a lot of people didn't get to see that. That was a tough game.
Yeah, it was a tough game. We went in kind of ready for a specific zone, and then they switched the zone. We were trying to figure out mid-game that 2-3 instead of that, I think it was a 1-2-1 or something like that.
Yep.
So I think just the mid-game adjustment kind of threw us off. Ava Winterburn was out for a couple minutes, always hurts, but we pulled out a dub, so
That's
we
right.
figured it out.
Yeah, I said to Bob before this game started tonight, good teams find a way to win.
Yeah.
It's a 1-point win on the road at Winnicott.
Right.
Tonight it's a scrappy team. You
Yeah.
got to figure out a way to win it. You guys have rebounded really well. The holiday tournament, there were some great offensive explosions there and there.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
One of the stars for tonight's game, Maggie Sasso, 8 points. We'll be back in just a minute with our next interview. Welcome back, Grizzly fans. We got another star of the game here, Ava Vaughn. Congratulations, nice game.
Thanks.
We make a couple comments during the game. We feel like it's not a Grizzly game unless Ava's on the floor.
Yep. Heard
Goalkeeper action, in play. We love the hustle, though. Come on, we
Thanks.
love the hustle. Nice game tonight. Nice job from the line. Aggressive. There was one possession in there, Ava, where you got 3 offensive rebounds. It was like shot went up, Ava got the rebound. Shot went up, Ava got the rebound. What's your mindset when you're playing with these scores like Winterburn and Ruggiero and Sasso? What are you doing?
Well, sometimes I see that they're either already going down the floor. I know Largy was talking to Ava Winterburn about, like, she wasn't in the paint, and when I see she's not in there, I know that I need to work extra hard to be in there because I know that, like, I'm a key rebounder for the team. I knew that my shots weren't really falling tonight, so I knew I had to give effort where I could. I thought that rebounding was an area where I could help out the team most, so I just tried my hardest and,
Sure. Memorial, we talked about, they came into the game, they're 4-0. I think a good matchup for you guys.
Yeah.
A little sloppy in the beginning for them, but they hung in there. What was your plan coming into this game?
We knew they were going to be a good team to face. It's kind of a rivalry, so I think we had more motivation to, really shut them down. We kind of planned that they were going to zone us because we did not the best with that in the Winnicott game. So we were kind of, yesterday at practice, just repping zone, repping man, repping their plays, trying to just lock down everything that we could. And then we just knew we were going to take the dub.
Yeah, good. The last game at Winnicott, there was a lot of people, watching the broadcast tonight that didn't get out there. A tough finish. That was a hard-fought game. I felt like you guys were in control early on.
Yeah.
They switched up some defenses. The Tooth Fairy came. I mean, there was a lot going on. You guys found a way to win.
Yeah.
Bob and I talk all the time that you guys are built like a championship team because you find ways to win.
Yes.
Each night is a little bit different. So moving forward, tell me a couple things you guys think you can improve on as you face Concord, Nashua North next week.
Well, we definitely do need to improve on the rebounding from everyone. I know that, there's always a few of us, but I think that every possession, we never have all 5 of us rebounding. And I think that we definitely need to improve on that. I think that we are going to keep getting better at transition looks because I think that's how we really rack up the points, transition.
Okay.
I also think that we're going to continue to work on running our plays, not getting too frantic, just trying to play our game and not letting the opponent take over.
Absolutely good. Well, congratulations again. A nice, hard-fought win for you. We love to see you flying on the floor.
Yeah.
We like to see those rebounds. You're in there hitting the glass and like you said, the transition. Let's get the ball and let's run. So congratulations. Nice game. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right. We'll be back with right, Grizzlies, welcome back. We got head coach, Coach Largy, with us. Bounce back game, the Winnicott game. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But tonight, what was the game plan coming in tonight? Memorial 4-0, athletic. They could go big. They could shoot the three. What was your game plan?
I mean, we had to play better than we played on Tuesday, and obviously we were going to kind of use that and use what we knew about Memorial, which is a lot. This is a team that we play a lot. We see in Summer League, and they're right down the road, and we know matchup-wise they're tough. And coming into this one 4-0, beating some pretty good teams, we knew we were going to have all we could handle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it starts with guarding 23 and being able to contain Maddie, and she's a fantastic shooter, scorer. But today she showed just playmaking ability too, and so that's something that's really hard to prepare for when a kid can score from the three. She can drive it and she can make the dish. So early on in the game, it was like, oh, okay, this is a new little wrinkle that they have. So we really keyed defensively on them and their shooters and the new big that they have too.
McKelvey.
She's very good. She's very solid. So
you mentioned early on, when Maddie could get the basket, McKelvey had 3 early shots inside.
Yeah.
One didn't go, 2 went. One kind of rolled around, but I thought, we're in trouble because Maddie's going to get to the basket and she's going to dish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were doing that at will. And what I've seen from McKelvey is she's got a little more polish now than she had over the summer. Like you can tell she's put in the work. Coach has put in the work with her. And she's really developed. So we knew we were going to have a lot to handle on that end. On the offensive side, we just kind of said we just have to come back to being us. We got to really try to push tempo. We got to try to push the ball up the floor. That's when we're really playing good basketball, is when we're beating teams up the floor and we can get early offense.
Yep.
They're a really good set defensive team, so we schemed kind of what they like to do in their man defense, and we know they're hard to break down. They play a really, really great man-to-man half-court defense, and so making it all the more necessary to really push tempo and try to get points in transition whenever possible. And then, I think we put a really good 2 days into practice, so I was proud of that.
Good. I mentioned maybe both of the girls when they were here, Ava and Maggie. You guys are turning into a championship-level team because you're finding ways to win. When the Winnicott game could have went either way.
Right.
It comes down to the wire. Superstar gets a lob pass, gets fouled, sinks 2 free throws, you win. Tonight, it was, there was a point in the third quarter where things were getting a little tighter.
Yeah.
And we could feel it. We could
feel the game pressure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And good teams find ways to win. The one thing we mentioned in the broadcast, I talked with the girls, there was points where I thought we could have milked the clock a little longer. I saw you yell at them, so you obviously saw it. But it's the learning experience.
Yeah, and I think so. And what's good, and I just talked about this in the locker room with them too, is when you get seniors recognizing kind of we're playing out of character. Ava Ruggiero was actually the one that, came to me and said, okay, they're getting to us. We're playing a little out of control right now. And I said, okay, let's slow it down, right? Like you're the guard, you're out on the floor. I can't slow it down for you. And she did. And we ran an offensive set. She drove to the basket and she got to the line off of it. So I think last year I would have called a timeout and we would have talked about it. And then we might have gotten the same result on the floor. So this year you see a little bit more of the maturity in terms of understanding and then being able to apply those changes, which is exciting. So you're right. I mean, the experience that we got at Winnicott, that's important to be able to kind of come from behind and play in the fourth quarter and compete and have to come up with a winning play at the end.
Yeah.
And all of that. And today, too, same thing, game pressure, feeling that in the third quarter, have to make adjustments, and they executed, right? And that's what championship-level teams do.
Absolutely. And I said to Bob early in the broadcast today during the pregame show, you're 7 or 8 games in. There's plenty of video footage out there. People know what Goffstown are going to do.
Yeah.
They want to run in transition. They're going to feed Winterburn.
Yeah.
Winterburn's money from 8 to 10 feet. That shot's going in.
Mm-hmm.
People know that. They're going to double them. Mm-hmm. And how the rest of the team responds. You got plenty of scores. That's not a problem.
Right.
But how do we share the ball? How do we move the ball? So talk a little bit about now that these teams know what you guys want to do, and they're going to emphasize, let's slow them down. Let's run the clock down. A Winnicott, let's get it into a low score.
Yeah, they did a really good job of that.
Yeah, what's your focus moving forward?
Yeah, I think we've got to take those experiences and learn from them, and even like after a win like today, obviously we're excited. It's a team that beat us last year on our home floor. So we enjoy these experiences and being able to get a win against a good team, but also you got to learn from those experiences too. I mean, they're happening every single game, and so teams are able to scout. I think, like you said, we have so many different ways we can score and beat you, and you got to fine tune obviously what you're good at. But you also have to, like, championship level teams will address the things that they're not doing well, like turning the ball over late in games and things like that. And the thing I said in the locker room is when you play another top 3 team in the state, those things are going to hurt you because if you turn the ball over with 4 seconds left, maybe you're down 1 in that situation, right? And so you got to be able to take from these experiences, fine-tune what might not be great. And we'll really look at the film on this one because I think we get a really good look from Memorial and what they do with us defensively. They're switching to zone, right? We knew that they would do that at some point today just because, again, Winnacunnet did it. Teams talk. The teams look at film. They say, okay, hey, Winnacunnet zoned them for a little bit. They struggle with that. Can we get them that way? We score in a couple possessions there. So I think it's just kind of preparing for those eventualities, preparing like holiday tournament. We see a box and one. Ava sees a box and one. We figure out, okay, how are we going to deal with this? So some of this is adjustment you have to make on the fly, and some of it's adjustment you can make just kind of anticipating what other teams are going to do.
Absolutely.
And what they're going to throw at us.
Yeah, we brought Maggie out as one of our stars of the game. My count, she had 8 in the second half.
Yeah.
And I saw the spurts of Maggie that I'm used to seeing where the lane is open, Maggie drives. She's got a quick first step.
Yeah.
When she's going to the basket, no one's stopping her.
Right.
And I said that to her. I said, when that lane's there, that's you. You got to go. You're quick.
Yep.
We know what Winterburn can bring to the game. Yeah, I will. We know what Winterburn can bring to the game. We know how Ruggiero can orchestrate the offense and do everything else. Maggie's an important piece. Kind of what is Maggie's role with those other seniors?
She can do so much, and she's really improved her game in so many different ways. And really, I think the secret for her is confidence, right? It's really what I've seen from her this year is she doesn't get as effective. Like she didn't score in the first half, right? And last year that would have, I think, affected her going into the second half. That would have affected her performance level in the second half. But she's now kind of matured as a player to the point where it doesn't matter. She, first half wasn't my half, but I got this one, right? And so I'm going to continue to drive. I'm going to continue to be aggressive. I'm going to continue to shoot shots, whether they're going in or not, because she knows that that's her game. I mean, she is, in terms of knockdown shooters, we have a few of them, and she's one of the best, right?
Absolutely.
And she's one of the best in the state at that.
Yeah.
And so, it's just continuing to make sure that she has the confidence. And I love seeing this. She did it at Winnacunnet too. She had two big threes in the fourth quarter. If she doesn't hit those threes late in the fourth quarter, we don't win that game.
That's right. I agree.
So for her to have that confidence coming into the second half after not playing well, now it's like we got to get her going early. That's another thing that Ruggiero did for us tonight too. Is she looked at me and she said, "Hey, let's run this for," and she didn't say for Maggie, but like I know what she was thinking. Her thought process was, "Hey, I need to get my teammate going here."
Yeah, I noticed a couple times in the last few games, Ava Ruggiero is not only from a captain standpoint and a senior, but the experience is she's given that nod to the players, like do this, go there, giving directions.
Yeah.
And when you can have that extra coach on the floor. They tune you out sometimes, right, on the sideline.
Yeah, sometimes.
But to have her on the floor to kind of be that on the floor coach, what a difference.
Yeah, and we have a great senior class. I mean, our senior class is stacked, and it's something that all of them bring leadership to the table. Yeah. I mean, they are leaders. They're looked up to not just in our program, but in the building.
Yeah.
So you get a Ruggiero, Winterburn, Vaughn, Foreman. They're all kids that people in this school root for.
Yeah.
And you know exactly the effort level you're going to get from them. The camaraderie, the time that they've spent together, and how much they just care about each other, care about the program. And so it's, we're really blessed to have the senior leadership.
Yeah, I agree. You guys are easy to cheer for. I have a vested interest, but just what you mentioned, they like each other. They're going out to dinner last night. They're going, pregame meal together. So there's a bond there, and it's starting to really, really pay dividends on the floor. They're playing well together. All right, so we're gonna head into next week. Concord, I think Nashua North next Friday.
Concord North, yeah.
So
at Concord on Tuesday.
Yeah, two
tough
more
one.
good opponents. Any thoughts on what we got to work on between now and Tuesday?
Well, Concord's they got some size, right? So we're going to prepare for that. Where they've got a kid that's scoring the ball pretty well inside, and they bang and they get offensive rebounds, and that's been an area of focus for us in general this year. Man, we really got to lock it down today because we gave up some second chances to Memorial, and Concord's a team you just can't give them up to.
Good. All right, well, congratulations. Good win tonight. Back-to-back wins. And like I said, finding ways to win, against a very good Memorial team, a scrappy team that win a kind of game, which could have gone either way, as we talked about. So congratulations. Get some rest this weekend. All right, we'll see you next week. We're home next Friday night against Nashua North. Have a good night, Grizzly fans.
Thanks, Rob.
This tension is rising so thick we just might choke. But if we keep moving